Hey everybody, we're here with Hairbrained Schemes LLC. Mitch Gitelman, how are you, man?
I am happy to be alive.
Now, you guys are in the middle of a Kickstarter. It takes a lot of effort. Now, you're doing a BattleTech Kickstarter, which is huge for those of us fanboys like myself. How's that going?
It's glorious. Oh my God, it's amazing. And yeah, it's a lot of work. You know, running a Kickstarter campaign is just running a project while you're running a project. It's a whole project in and of itself. And, you know, it's the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning. It's the last thing you think about when you go to bed at night. Every moment in between, basically, you're working the Kickstarter.
It is. It's a campaign in and of itself, and having the fans so close to it is absolutely glorious.
Being this close to the audience and interacting with the audience every single day is joyous. And now, you know, it's our fourth Kickstarter, and the joy has only increased rather than decreased.
See, and that's true. You guys are like the gold standard because you guys have had you've delivered all 3 times. You're going to deliver this 4th time, and it's not they're not just kind of decent games. They're incredibly good. I mean, people love them.
Yeah, it's really rewarding. The whole idea behind what's going on with us is we're trying to create a long-term relationship with our audience. This isn't like a one-night stand for us. You know what I mean?
I don't know. No. Hello, honey. I don't know anything about what he's talking about. Just talking to my wife real quick there.
Cool. And I've only heard about these things on the internet.
Yeah.
But, you know, nevertheless, we're trying to get married to the audience and stay with them and really develop this relationship and kind of a personal relationship. And like I've said to other people before, it's kind of like we want to be your favorite garage band. You know, we're not trying to get rich and famous. We're just trying to make our music, man. We're passionate about what we do in a big way. We kill ourselves to make these games, and I think that's why our review scores reflect it. You know, we love what we do. We're really trying to, you know, with our Shadowrun games, what we're trying to do is make Shadowrun come to life for people. You know, and there hadn't been Shadowrun video games for years and years, not counting that first-person shooter, which was, let's just call it not Shadowrun.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember it too. But but really creating the setting and making that setting come alive is very important to us. And it's the same mentality that we're bringing into BattleTech too. You know, the BattleTech universe has been around for almost 32 years, right? There's 200 novels, there's comic books, there was a Saturday morning TV show. You know, it's been all sorts of games. Like you played in the BattleTech pods, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I was a grandmaster in the BattleTech
Those
pods.
Those kicked so much ass. Yeah, I used to have, when I was at Microsoft, I had 6 of those pods all connected up. Oh, yeah.
So jealous.
And there's just nothing better than finishing your workday and then going to play around. You know,
that's where you call the wife. You call the wife and say, "Oh, I got to work late, honey," and you got a few.
And she's like, "Oh, wait a minute, the pods. You're playing the pods again, aren't you?"
Now, did you guys have, I guess, Red Planet in there as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got to understand, my team, the studio members, were also the people that made the pods.
Ooh. Right.
So yeah, they made Red Planet. They were, you know, they loved BattleTech, but man, they loved Red Planet.
It's a great experience. You know, we just did Rooster Teeth convention down here as we're doing Descent, right? And right next to us in the booth was some team in Houston that's running the BattleTech pods. And so we partnered up with them.
Yeah, they're still out there.
Yeah, and we would come in and play with them before the show started. It was amazing.
You still any good?
Not as good. My 16-year-old whipped my ass.
Yeah, that's what they're for. All 3 of my kids can kick my ass at every game.
It's all right. You know, I want to get back to the passion thing, though. I think that I firmly believe that good games are made when we're making games for ourselves, right? For what we kind of want to play. And
I think there's an element of that, absolutely. Yeah.
You guys set out to make BattleTech. You guys are like the original creators. So tell us about that.
Sure. Well, you know, Jordan created BattleTech in '84, I think. I joined around the virtual world centers, those BattleTech pods. He and I started working together. But we've been off and on for years. We met each other doing paper and pencil role-playing games back when there was just FASA Corporation.
Don't you think every good game can break down to paper and pencil? The paper and pencil is really the key to a good game.
Yeah, and the other thing is that one of the things that we're both passionate about is world building, right? And having this real scale of world behind with, and that's why the Shadowrun games, I think, are so rich in detail. Oh. And that's what we're trying to mine with BattleTech, because again, BattleTech's got this 32-year history with all of this stuff, and so much has been written about it, and it spans hundreds of years, right. Several centuries. And so there's all these time periods that people like to play in and write about and stuff like that. And that's fodder for us, and we feed off of it rather than think about the lore as a straitjacket, how some engineer or some development teams might. It's like, oh God, now we got to deal with all this BattleTech crap. For us, it's like, oh my God, thank goodness we have all this to milk for great stuff. And so we look at it as just a wealth of riches.
And you guys, and this is for the PC. What are you going to be on? Yeah,
PC, Mac, and Linux. Mm-hmm. And we've got about an 18-month development cycle. Right now, we're still in pre-production. We're prototyping our turn-based combat mechanics. Everything right. Just concentric circles out from there.
Yep, sure.
So a lot of times we get some really interesting questions from the audience when you're doing a Kickstarter. Of course, they're like, "How are you going to handle this? How are you going to handle this?" And the answer is, I don't know. We're prototyping right now. Well, I'll tell you by the end of the year or something like that, because that's when we'll get to that answer.
No, that's what I was going to say earlier about the challenge, because when you're making this stuff, the audience, I love the audience participation. I love them being part of the process. I always tell the story. We were making Starlancer, and I think you were at Microsoft back then. When we were working together, and we spent 6 months making co-op missions, so you could play the entire thing through cooperatively with like up to 4 players in the missions. And every time you played with 1 player or 2 or 3, it opened up other branches. And so
it
was fantastic. Nobody played it. It was like,
that's too bad. I love co-op.
Me too.
That's one of the most requested features for us is, because our last funding goal is PvP multiplayer. We've hit every funding goal up to PvP multiplayer.
Wow.
That's the last one. Do co-op. Are you going to do co-op? And the answer is we would love to do co-op. We intend to do co-op. Every dollar that we get past $2.5 million, we're going to put towards co-op. We're just not committing to it on day one.
Fair enough.
And it's all about a live team that comes afterwards.
Well, exactly. And I think and you guys are doing that right. I mean, you guys are looking to continue to build this for like forever if you get that lucky.
Yeah, we've got a whole product plan past this, absolutely, and it's really exciting to be a part of the whole thing and watch it grow into what it can be. And I think down the road, of course, I'm not going to talk about down the road, but we've got some really exciting ideas for where this thing can go. This is just step one.
That's beautiful. I mean, that's sort of right in our wheelhouse too. So, how much longer do you have on the Kickstarter? Just a few days?
There's just about 4 days. Yeah, it ends Tuesday at noon Pacific time.
Wow. And you've already blown through it. It's fantastic. We're very proud of you guys. Tell Jordan I said hello.
Thank you. Absolutely.
And make sure you guys go check out their Kickstarter page and definitely back this project. This is the gold standard, everybody, of Kickstarter teams. This is what we at Descent Underground and Descendant Studios are trying to strive to be. So,
well, thanks. It was really great to be here, and thank you for the kind words.
Well, you guys deserve it. We're big fans, and we're going to be watching day to day. And I kind of feel like Kickstarter projects are like united artists. We got to all stick together and support each other.
I totally agree.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you guys in a few days.
Thank you.